Is this a spoiler review?
I don't know.
I think we'll have to put a spoiler warning. I don't think we can properly discuss it without spoiling it.
Before we go further, spoiler warning.
You could just do that
Very
in
big
edit.
spoiler
Do
warning.
that in edit. Don't do it now.
Isaac, I can do what the fuck I want.
Oh god, can we start over? Because this is a bit all over the place.
Oh,
I
for
don't wanna
God's
start.
sake.
Hello and welcome to a new series that we're starting. This is going to be called... Well, do we have a name for it?
No, we don't.
I don't think we do at the moment.
We
do
don't have a name for it yet. No. It will appear right here on my
A
screen.
casual discussion? Were we going
Yeah.
to use that?
Yeah, casual
Casual
discussion.
discussion.
This is going to be a little series where we just watch films, give our thoughts and opinions on them, and just have a little chat about them, really. This week, what have we watched, boys?
We watched the film Waves, starring Kelvin Harris Jr., Sterling K. Brown, and Alexa Demie. I'm not sure how to pronounce her surname, so... Yeah, the film is basically about how a family deals with tragedy.
I'd describe it as like an exploration of like the family unit and how they deal with like you say, grief and tragedy.
For me, it almost felt like I was watching two films at once. After Ty kills his girlfriend, the whole premise and the whole atmosphere and plot summary sort of changes, and it no longer becomes about him, it becomes about his sister in the second half. So it almost feels like it could be an entirely different film, which I loved. It was another story.
That's one of my big issues with it. It feels like, on a whole, the two parts were largely disconnected. I feel like you could have got through like that first bit. It feels like a prelude that they've stretched out to about an hour.
In the first half, the film was... I don't know if you guys got this, but it was really fun. Like, there was legit parts of it where like my heart was pounding. Especially any of the car scenes. For some reason, any time that there was a scene in a car in the first half, I thought they were going to crash.
I got Hereditary flashbacks. I was
Yeah.
Stop hanging your head out of that window now.
Yeah.
So like the first half where it follows like Tyler and his like downfall, basically, like it's really stylized and super kind of in your face and fun and like fills you with adrenaline. And then as soon as it changes aspect ratio and goes to his sister, the film goes like super melancholy and very, very good, but like in a different way, I think.
So the movie starts with no aspect ratio, no black bars. Then as he gets the news about his arm being busted and stuff, and he's in the bath, it fades to black and it comes back and you've got the top and bottom bars. So now you're feeling a bit more compressed. And then once he had killed his girlfriend, you have the side bars. So you feel much more claustrophobic, you feel trapped. But we don't stick with that aspect ratio with him, even though he is the one going to jail. It's almost as if his sister is the one now trapped because of his actions. But as she becomes friends with Luke, the aspect ratio goes and it goes back to the top and bottom bars. And then it's when they go on their road trip and it does the 360 camera move like in the beginning, they're bringing the aspect ratio down ever so slightly and it becomes spacious again.
The aspect ratio like changing, I think it's something that this director likes to do a lot. Or maybe not a lot, but he did it in his feature film called Krishna. He also did It Comes at Night, which I haven't seen, but I know you have, Isaac.
Yeah, I've watched that and I was about to say...
Is there any aspect ratio changing in that?
Do you know what? I'll have to rewatch it because I don't think there was. If that is his thing, then I don't think it's that bad. I think it's actually quite unique. And if he uses it right, like he did in Waves, I believe, then I think, it's a very good trademark to have in your own work.
They kept exploring a lot of different themes. Like, for example, they explore like abortion a bit. They explore like racial equality, parental pressure, that sort of thing. But I feel like they don't really go into depth with them. If they'd just scrapped that and just focused on like grief in the family, I feel like they could have made it a lot better rather than like picking up all these little like smaller themes and not really exploring them as much.
I felt a little beaten over the head with the message of forgive like family even if they've wronged you. And then they did this like it felt a bit too obvious for my liking, where she's having a dream where she walks into her brother's room and sees his face, and then they do like a matched cut to like his dad staring at her. I felt a bit like, oh come on, just like you could have hidden this a bit more, but like I let it slide because I liked the film. The dad, I just thought he was like such a great part of it. To be fair, I feel like him and the mum's relationship was really like kind of shittily handled.
Yeah,
I feel like the mum was so underdeveloped. It's like there was a scene. It's when Tyler's like leaving the house, and he like blows up at his like stepmom.
Yeah, I didn't know.
like,
I didn't know she was his stepmom.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Like.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's an hour in, and we don't know that she's his stepmom. It's
When
like,
did your
I feel
mum
like
die?
We should have.
When did that happen? When was that established? Yeah, no, I agree. There are some stuff that weren't established that maybe should have been. Because then the sister establishes it more in detail later on, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't really need that. You could have established it before or something.
Also, another guy, the fucking security guard for the abortion clinic was the the MVP of the film. Just such
He was
like
great.
Yeah, he stole.
He only had
the
like
scene.
like 2-3 lines, and he
nailed it.
He nailed it.
You know what?
He was ace.
I actually agree with you. It was one of those moments where it just stood out to me, and it was like, do you know what? That was quite nice. It didn't feel like it had to be there, but I'm glad it was.
No, the scene that I hated, like that almost ruined the movie for me, is when Tyler's leaving the house. He's drunk. He's stolen his dad's keys. He pushes his dad, and his dad just falls to the ground. He's like, okay. I got so mad.
He's got a bad knee, remember? That's why he's able to push him down so easily.
Tyler's got a bad shoulder.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got a tottered, ripped to shreds bicep.
I know, but
Yeah, he can't push his dad over.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like his dad's meant to be like a fighter. His son's just disrespected him, disrespected his wife, stolen his keys, and has been drinking, and has shown himself to be a bit of a loopy-loo. And he's just like, he's just like on the ground, like, you know what, this knee. There we go. For the first half of the film, the sister is not a character.
yeah.
Like she's in, like I said, she's in the cafe scene at the start.
Yeah.
And then she's in the scene where Tyler comes home drunk, and she sort of like comforts him. Those
Yeah.
are the two scenes that she's in, and that's like it.
I think that's kind of the point. They don't want you to feel emotionally connected yet. The idea in the second half is that you're feeling very, very disconnected from the film now, because the main character you followed throughout the first half is now gone. So now you're following this new character who you know nothing about. So it's almost like you're now repeating a new story. You're going through a new experience.
Yeah,
but
if that's the case, then why is it not a different film? It's like, I'd rather just have a different film rather than spending an hour and then switching and having like a pretty much entirely new story.
Another thing that like I just disliked, but I disliked this, but again, just clarifying, really like the film, so I've let a lot of it slide.
Yeah.
I hated this, I hate that, but overall I liked it. I love this film. Yeah, I loved it.
Because the sister's so ignored in the first half, it feels obvious to you. Like I think it feels obvious to most people when you're watching it. Like the dad's ignoring the sister. Like he doesn't care. And then they kind of tried to fix that in just one scene of like, oh, let's go fishing together. I kind of wanted it to be a bit more like, oh, she's gonna spend more time with her family and they're gonna reconnect.
Yeah.
But no, they just do one scene with the dad, no scene with the mum. And then she just goes and fucks about with her boyfriend.
The thing I loved about this film was how it explored grief in like the family unit.
Yeah.
But like they explore that in the second half, but then they don't really explore it to its fullest in the second half.
Yeah.
Because the sister goes off and does her own thing. I feel like if they'd have stayed at home with the family unit and seen how that progresses, I'd have liked it a lot more.
I would have liked the full scene of like the mum going to go visit him. And a bit more
like
of that.
the tease that didn't.
Yeah,
they
no,
didn't
I agree.
show
I was
that.
thinking like, okay, this is going to be like a really good scene. Like we're going to see how she's sort of gotten through it and how she's going to try and like, get over her grieving and try and like, sort of communicate with him in her own way. And they didn't. And I was really sad about that. I was like, oh, I really wanted to see that. I wanted to see, because that could have been the moment of her character development, like a really good moment.
It really threw me out of the film the text conversation that Tyler had with
Yep.
Alexis.
I'm glad you
It's
brought this
like
up.
the way they text. That's not how you text.
And also
you're
when it's
discussing-
about a possible
Yeah.
baby.
It's like, first of all, 18-year-olds do not text like that.
Yeah.
None of us text like that. And you do not text like that at all when you're discussing your girlfriend's possible pregnancy.
Yeah,
That's
and the way that she talked about it, like I know
Yeah.
she's 18, so you know, not the most mature, but
Yeah.
I think 18-year-olds, when it comes to like a possible abortion and having a baby, are a lot more mature about that.
Yeah.
It feels like a lot of times in films, if one person's like a strong character, the other person tends to be weak.
Yeah.
I did like the fact that she was a strong character, but that didn't make him be like a pussy. He was a strong character as well, so their arguments were like real cutthroat and kind of horrid, and it kind of showed arguments for like what they are, that like you're not always on your best form. And it was nice to see that like they spoke kind of like real people who said like nasty things. I enjoyed that, but it was nice to see like a strong female character as well, even if I didn't really like the character.
I did enjoy this film. Like I said before, I did cry, so it was very emotionally investing, and it was doing things right. But I just have a lot of problems with like the pacing. I love it when they explore how the family unit is dealing with this and all that. So I wish they'd have got to that sooner, and especially the first bit. I feel like my time was wasted just getting invested in Tyler and Alexis, or trying to, and then them just being taken away. Apart from that, I did really enjoy the film, and I thought it was good. Like I said, I love the soundtrack. I loved the cinematography at points. But yeah, I thought it was a really good film, and yeah, I definitely recommend.
The film was pretty close to perfect for me. It did a few things that just turned me off so much and like pulled me out of the film so bad that I don't think I'll watch it again. Obviously, this is the director's like I think he's only done like 3 films, so I'm really excited for like what this guy's gonna do next. But yeah, the film was pretty close to perfect. Not all the way there. The things that he did were not terrible, but bad enough to pull me out of the film. I think I'd give it an 8.3 out of 10.
Oh, we're doing scoring.
I'll just give it I just give it a score.
Lewis, how dare you try and represent your opinions in numerical value?
I went into this film not knowing much. I've watched the trailer, I saw a few posters and stuff. I honestly, this film, from the very beginning, I was just, it brought you into this energetic sense. It was building your expectations quite well. The cinematography went from smooth and gliding to shaky and tight. It was brilliant. I just thought the music worked with the film. The actors were subpar, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not like a professional actor myself, but you know.
Oh, I thought you were, Isaac.
Yeah.
Isaac, you've been in plenty.
Mate, I've been in Channel 4 shit.
I'm gonna show
You're
that on the
gonna
screen.
show
Isaac.
that.
I'm gonna show.
You're
I'm gonna show.
We should do
God's
an
Own County.
episode where we review God's Own County.
Isaac, I'd rather die.
Oh,
Sorry, we can review your scene.
fuck you. Overall, it was a really good film, and I really enjoyed it. And I just hope that the director and he's able to express more of his vision throughout.
Has anyone got any other final comments they'd like to make?
Yeah, the film was shit.
Isaac.
Do you want to do please like, and then I'll come in all cheesy and subscribe.
Nope.
No. Nope. That's a hard no, Isaac. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed. If you have any thoughts of your own on Waves, or if you have any suggestions of other films we can talk about, then leave a comment. Again, if you enjoyed, leave a like. If you subscribe, then hopefully we can keep producing these videos. But yes, thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Isaac, do you want to say bye?
Bye.
Yeah, I'm going to cut that out.